Every year, more and more people immigrate to South Africa. It has become a very attractive destination with its astounding quality of life and solid business opportunities. To continue ensuring the effective and efficient management of migration in the interest of the security of the country, the new South African Government Immigration Regulations 2014 have been effected. The new act was announced by the Ministry of Home Affairs and includes amendments to some of the following. No business visa may be issued or renewed to a foreigner who intends to establish or invest in a business that is listed as undesirable business undertaking, and under the new regulations, there will be a clear distinction between short-stay visas and long-stay permanent residence permits. So this is what we're going to be talking to now with Nicola Lochner, who's Immigration Manager of Immigration South Africa. She joins us from our Cape Town studios. Good to have you on the program, Nicola. Thanks for being our guest.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
So it really does seem that things have been put in place to strengthen violations in visa applications, the status of unmarried couples, influx of professionals with exceptional skills, habitual overstaying, child trafficking. What do these regulations mean in layman's terms for people, for particularly foreigners in the country?
Okay. What it means, the most effective and unfortunate directive that has been put into place is Directive 9, which unfortunately, if a foreign national is waiting for the outcome of their permit that's being processed through the Department of Home Affairs, they can't actually travel, because if their current visa has expired and they're still waiting for the issuance of their permit, or visa now, known as a visa, they will be classed as undesirable. So if they leave the country, they will not be able to come back into the country for over a year minimum. Sure. So that obviously leaves foreign nationals terrified to leave if there's an emergency abroad and they haven't had the outcome yet from the Department of Home Affairs. Then unfortunately they just can't leave and they're trapped, which is causing a lot of problems and crises around South Africa.
Yeah. So they leave, they cannot come back. That's just the way it is right now.
For a year, for a ban for up to a year. Yeah. So, for example, on Wednesday, the first victim, should we say, that fell part of this Directive 9 is that she had a baby and she's married to a South African citizen waiting for the extension of her current visa, and she wanted to travel to her home country to obviously show parents, so forth, the child, and she travelled, and now she's not allowed to come back to her home, which is South Africa, of 5 years. She's now stuck in her country for over a year with the baby and without the father of the child.
Sure. All right, now these new regulations to be expected to ensure that permanently employed South Africans must make up 60% of the total staff complement in a business owned by foreign nationals. Surely that's good news for correct. South Africans, at least. I mean, is that fair?
I really do believe that is fair. It is far better than the previous regulations, which, in my opinion, professional opinion, made no sense whatsoever, because it said that someone who is investing or going to be operating a business who is a foreign national has to employ 5 South African citizens or permanent residents. But what is the number 5? A company could have over 800 employees.
Yeah.
A company could have only 3 employees. So it wasn't very, didn't make much sense. So I think now the fact that we've got it down to a percentage, 60%, I think that's awesome.
Does this apply to every business? Because I mean, you'll see a lot of foreigners coming into the country and starting out as traders, selling things on the side of the street or selling in small spaza shops, and they must have 60% employment of South Africans. What's the line there? How does that work?
It's been introduced by communications between the Department of Trade and Industry and the Department of Labour. So it's after consultation with them, and the thing is, it doesn't apply directly to every single company that's owned. It's only if a foreign national does run the company, operates within the company, or is invested in the company, that it's necessary to have 60% South Africans.
Okay, all right. So now we understand that a little bit better. Now let's talk a little bit more. Let's talk about foreigners living in South Africa that have temporarily left the country and are still waiting for the outcome of their visa application. How are they going to be affected?
Okay, so it depends on whether they are known as a visa-exempt national or a national that has to have a visa to enter into the country. So they would have needed, for example, let's take a British citizen versus a Brazilian citizen. A British citizen will be fine because they will come back into the country and they will get their 90 days port of entry visa. However, a Brazilian national who, before the new regulations came into effect, would be able to enter into the country without having to go through the visa application process and just show proof that an application is processing through the Department of Home Affairs. But now they're going to run into complications and most likely won't be able to board the plane.
Okay. Another one, there's also been a clear distinction between short-stay visas and long-stay permanent residence permits. What has been the case in the past? What's different?
Well, everybody called temporary residency permits. So you could have a work permit, but then now permanent residency is a permit. So if it makes sense that now those who are sojourning in the country, in the Republic temporarily, fall under the visa category until such time as they qualify for permanent residency. So that's pretty much the difference. Permanent residency is you no longer have to continue to make applications. You get issued permanent residency as long as you abide by the rules that are attached to the category in which you qualified. Then you can absolutely stay in the country permanently on that permit. Okay. But short stay is just a visa.
All right, thank you. I think a lot
I
of
hope I didn't confuse you.
No, I think you've given people a lot of clarity because I think people were confused when it was first announced. So I'm glad we could touch on a couple of the issues just to explain it to the viewers out there. Nicola Lochner doing that exactly for us. She's from the Immigration South Africa, giving us perspective on how the new legislation is going to impact foreign nationals and how some can avoid being prohibited from re-entering South Africa. I hope that did help you. All right, let's get your